Hi everyone, how are you doing? Hope you all are doing well. Let's continue part 2 of History, Chapter 3 in the earliest cities. In part 1, we covered all these topics, and in part 2, we'll discuss the following topics. Now, we move on to the raw materials. As you would know, to make a craft, we need some raw materials. So, the first thing is, what are raw materials? Substances that are either found naturally, like wood, ores, metals, stones, etc., or produced by farmers or herders, like cotton, grains, wool, etc. Those things are called raw materials. Another feature of raw materials is these substances are then processed to produce finished goods. For example, cotton produced by farmers is a raw material that may converted into finished product, that is a piece of cloth. In Harappan civilization, some raw materials were locally available, but other raw materials were brought from distant lands. So, a question arises here: what raw materials and which distant land? Copper, tin, gold, silver, and precious stones, etc., had to be brought from distant land. Gold from present day Karnataka, precious stone from present day Gujarat, Afghanistan, and Iran, copper from Oman, country in West Asia, and also from present day Rajasthan, and tin from Afghanistan and Iran. Tin and copper have a speciality that tin was mixed with copper to produce bronze, and bronze was very important for making tools, weapons, ornaments, and vessels. Bronze is an alloy of copper and tin. Food for the people in the cities. Now come to the food. Some people lived in the village, like farmers, herders, grew crops and reared animals. These farmers and herders supplied food to the people living in the cities. Harappan mostly grew wheat, barley, pulses, peas, rice, sesame, linseed, and mustard. And for the farming, they used a new tool known as the plough. Was used to dig the earth and planting seeds, while the real plough, which were probably made of wood, have not survived, and the archaeologists did not found any evidence regarding this, but their toy version have been found. As this region does not get heavy rainfall, that is why some form of irrigation may have been used. This means that water was stored and supplied to the fields when required. As we know, food comes from animals too. So, Harappans also reared sheep, goat, cattle, and buffalo. Water and pastures were available easily around their settlements. However, in the dry and summer months, they probably took the reared animals to great distances in search of pastures and water. They also collected fruits, caught fish, hunted wild animals, as hunting was not completely over. Now, let's have a look at some cities individually and discuss some of their important features. One is the Gujarat region, where two interesting towns were situated. First was Dholavira. This city was located on Khadir Bed in the Run of Kutch. The Run of Kutch is famous for its white salty desert sand, and it contributes a lot in Gujarat tourism, where Dholavira was situated. Due to availability of fresh water and fertile soil, the settlement of Dholavira was designed in such a way that it was divided into three parts. Each part was surrounded by a massive stone walls with entrance through gateways and a large open area in the settlements where public ceremonies could be held. In Dholavira, large letters of the Harappan script that were carved out of white stone have been found. The another interesting town was Lothal. It was also situated in the Gujarat area, and it was located beside a tributary of the Sabarmati river. Listen children, the tributary means a small river that flows into a larger river, and it was located close to the Gulf of Khambat, is a bay on the Arabian Sea. Why Lothal was important? Since Lothal was situated near the Gulf, it may have been a dockyard where ships and boats came in from the sea, and goods were probably loaded and unloaded here. Let us discuss some of the important features of Lothal. Here, raw materials such as semi-precious stones were easily available, and it was an important center for making objects out of stone, shell, and metal. There was a storehouse in this city where impressions of seals on clay were found, and a workshop for making beads, half-made beads, tools for making beads, and finished beads were found by archaeologists. We have already discussed that beads were an important part of craft in the Harappan civilization. Seals and sealings. Seals is important for the Harappan civilization. Let's see what it is. Seals may have been used to stamp bags or packets containing goods that were sent from one place to another, and after a bag was closed tightly, a layer of wet clay was applied on the knot and the seal was pressed on it for impression. This process is known as sealing, and the purpose of sealing was to ensure that the goods had arrived safely. Even today, we use sealing and packing. This civilization was going so well in an organized manner. So, how did it end? That remains a mystery. We have not found any satisfactory answer to this question yet. Major changes happened around 3900 years ago, and people stopped living in many of these cities. Writing seals, weights were no longer used. Raw materials became rare. The garbage piled up on the streets. The drainage system was broken down, etc. But why these changes occur? Different scholars suggested different theories. Some suggested that rivers dried up. Others suggested that there was deforestation, and the reasons for deforestation were overgrazing of cattle, sheep, goat, etc. Fuel was required for baking bricks and for smelting copper ores, soil erosion, flooding, etc. But still, the biggest question is In spite of these possible reasons, how could everything end up together? Children, I know that you are also thinking of the same question. None of these reasons explain the end of all the cities. If it would be flooding or river dried up would affect only some areas. Another reason could be the rulers lost control. Now, whatever the reasons are, its after effect were in Sindh and West Punjab, present day in Pakistan, many people left completely and moved into new settlement to the east and the south. Again, new cities came into existence about 1400 years ago, and later you will read about them in chapter 6 and 9. So, we have studied about Harappan civilization, but it is not only civilization in the world. There were many other civilizations in different countries of the world. Let's talk about a civilization in Egypt. As many of you may know that Egypt is a dry desert except for the area along the Nile River, and the civilization here is known as Egyptian civilization. They built huge tombs known as pyramids. When king died, their body was preserved and buried in these pyramids. These are known as mummies. You might have seen many of these in horror stories, horror movies, and cartoons made on these mummies. And with this, we came to the end of the chapter. Today we have covered all these topics. Let's recall. With this, we finished part 2 of History, chapter 3 in the earliest cities. Hope you enjoyed. Children, please note down the keynotes of this chapter given as PDF form. Thank you. Stay safe and study well.